Alright guys, I'm back with another video. Now hopefully I'm gonna make this a little bit quicker. Now there's a lot to address in this one, so I might not be successful at it. But just keep in mind before I go any further, I do own GameStop. I'm biased in my opinion, my thoughts, my direction of discussion in general. But for them also they are biased in my opinion. Now as a news observer, I want news. I want facts. I want, the real what's going on in the company that I own, right? So when I see GameStop being covered, I just don't get that. News medias nowadays, I just feel like they just want to sway you to do something that they want you to do. And they want you to have the same ideology. Then my opinion, if you're news, just report facts to me. I'm not interested in what you think about the company. Okay. So and the running themes that I usually see in this type of coverage, whether it's CNBC, Yahoo Finance, TD Ameritrade, any outlet at all who are the establishment outlet, anytime they cover GameStop, it's always a talking point. Like it's the same talking point. And I'll show you what I mean by here. Let me play what this segment is and I'll stop along the way.
Take any win they can at this point.
Okay. Peloton, the mighty Peloton shares up to $4.90 today after a fresh new low, literally going into this overnight. So all things with some perspective. Okay. How about GameStop? We got a little bounce there. What's up?
We do. This is some pretty major news as GameStop did announce naming or electing Ryan Cohen as their president and CEO effective immediately. So they did say, Mr. Cohen, this is to me the most wild part of this whole story. Mr. Cohen will not receive compensation for serving as their president or CEO and chairman. Back in June, Cohen did say that he wanted to, really go over this company's capital allocation, overseeing management. He was elected as the executive chairman then. He's taken the previous title of chairman of GameStop. That has been a sort of an ongoing relationship as he did take a 9% stake in the company that was disclosed back in August of 2020, then increased that stake to 13% back in late 2020. But GameStop is
So let me stop there because she's going to go on to gaslight him after this. The amazing part here is that he's not taking any pay as an executive. That's huge, you guys, because, excuse me, it sets precedents for any other company out there to say, hey, I have a stand here. I don't think that the CEO executive should, at least like, if you are fabulously wealthy already, have billions of dollars already, the very least that you could do is to try to save this company. Use your knowledge that you have as an executive, as a billionaire, to do something great for this company, for this country, and salvage all of this company back, right? And don't expect any reward until you turn this around. I respect him more and more. Every time I follow this guy, I respect him more. But the news seems to be turning this into something that is negative about a statement, about a person, a character of a person. How is this bad for anybody? He is comfortable with where he's at right now. He's a billionaire, so he doesn't need an extra million in order to get to his billion because he wants to work for those billions that he gets. Keep in mind though, if he owned 13%, which she is saying there, if GameStop goes higher, he will be billionaires already. He will have a couple $1 billion, maybe tens of billions of dollars, or hundreds of billions of dollars. So he doesn't need this pay, much like any other CEO out there, a big trillion dollars company. Are they doing the same thing? So this guy is doing something different. What are you guys going to do? So let's continue with this. She's gonna gaslight him so much. Watch.
Of course, been along the meme stock ride, and Ryan Cohen, I would say, is sort of like the leader of it. He's one of those people that was initially tweeting moons, which now is being investigated by the SEC.
So let's stop there for a minute. So there you go. He's a meme lord. The only reason why he's successful in this company is because he tweet. Because of a tweet, you guys. Come on. It's ridiculous. You know, it has nothing to do with the actual merit of his work. That's what these people think. Well, but if you look at the balance sheet, it tells you a different story. And these people know that. I bet you anything, these people are smarter than you think, which make them a lot more evil than you think, because they're trying to mislead you to think about Ryan Cohen in this light. They're saying, first of all, he's being investigated by the SEC. That's a joke in and of itself, because the SEC has not done their job yet. You know, remember the Citadel have been mismarking order for 5 years. What did the SEC do? SEC just fined them $7 million. It's ridiculous. So the fact that SEC is probing Ryan Cohen for investing in the company, that's simply what he did. But anyway, let's move on.
Because people bought a ton of Bed Bath & Beyond shares. They surged, then he sold. It was a huge story. He also, I'd say his money is something that people follow very closely when looking at his Gamestop exposure. So now, as the CEO and president, what does that relationship look like? The whole thing, I would say, if you do some digging into Ryan Cohen, he's a fascinating man, but for no pay, to me, says he's doing quite well financially, obviously.
So with the whole Bed Bath & Beyond thing, you know, if you know the full story, you know, again, he spent his own money to buy into the company, hundreds of $1,000,000, mind you. It was $140 million, if I remember correctly, but don't quote me on that number. I might be wrong. But he spent hundreds, more than $100 million to buy 10% or close to 10% of Bed Bath & Beyond stake in order to tell the leadership to stop doing what they're doing. The management, the board of directors, whoever is in charge of the company, to turn it around and not to overpay themselves handsomely. Millions of dollars was taken out of the investor, Bed Bath & Beyond investor at the time, and was taken advantage of, because this executive was losing money year on year, but yet they give themselves braces year on year. While the working class, while the people who are working hourly don't get anything, right? And it's the theme that he's trying to at least address, at least solved for America, right? He's not even an American. He's like, have the ideology of America. And I think that showed the testament of him. I think because of what Chewy is able to do for him, he appreciates the American way of doing things. And, but because he was a self-made billionaire, he understands that, sometimes you just have to work harder, like especially the executive who have been compensated handsomely, but they don't do anything for the company at hand. Now, I have a video on Bed Bath & Beyond stuff. I will link it down below if you want to know the full story of what Bed Bath & Beyond was. And these people are not going to tell you that real story because they are interested in gaslighting him, making him sound like the ridiculous person. The only thing that he was successful at it was being a meme lord, right? That he doesn't know what he's doing, that he's unsuccessful to be associated with a bankrupt company, right? And so everything under the sun, right, to smear his character, because they can't go after GameStop as a company anymore because the balance sheet tells you that they're doing pretty good, right? So.
Sure, and like the whole attitude of like the swarm of investors and GameStop loyalists, the whole kind of meme mantra of sticking it to the man. They don't really. I'll phrase it this way. I'm sure they appreciate, it kind of fits the vibe to not take the salary and not have the Wall Street guy come in and, take a bunch of money from the company. But here's the thing. Does it change anything? Because even though he wasn't the CEO, he's the chairman right before, and it's like everybody associates him with the company and his role in it. So I guess maybe it changes some stuff, like from a real like paper and pen perspective. He's sitting at the desk, figuratively making the decisions, but I feel like he was behind the scenes anyway.
So I'll stop it right there. Look at the disdain in his voice, his tone, just very condescending, right? And the fact that this guy is trying to do something different than his master, I'm going to say it, because they're serving somebody by saying that, right? And it's telling who's they're serving. It's right in front of your face. It's Wall Street. Wall Street are the big firms out there, who have different ideology. They only want to make money. They don't care about, anything that, remotely will, they don't want to take the risk of turning the company around. They rather decimate it and make a new, right? And have other people make new company, new idea for them so that they could rip it out of your hand. Whoever invented the thing, the founder of everything, right? So since Ryan Cohen used to be a founder himself, he understands that Wall Street take a huge chunk of his labor, right? In Chewy, right? Remember when he sold it, yes, it was valuated correctly. He was happy to sell it to them at $3.3 billion for the Chewy. But at the time of IPO, it went up to $14 billion. And so whoever bought it from them, PetSmart, and then whoever sold the share on top of that, they profit off of Chewy handsomely. And they were happy about it. They were promoting it. They were saying he was the greatest, of all, right? Saying that, Chewy was successful because it beats Amazon sale in pet category. It's like, come on, right? So, but anyway, to say that he's like now is a villain because, again, look at this. The reason why he's a villain now is because the institution don't own majority of this company. Okay? Look at Best Buy. Oops, sorry, let me go here. Look at Best Buy. 80%. This is why they want you to, if you go over here, the consensus for this for this company. You see that? They want you to either buy or hold because currently it's trading below this low. So they want you to buy or hold. The consent is to hold this company. Why? Well, you know why. Because institution own majority of this company for Best Buy. But because they don't own the majority of this company, these people who owned by institution, whoever owns the network, they don't want you to buy into GameStop because, again, it doesn't benefit them. If anything, it hurts them because they've been shorting the company, allegedly. Okay.
I completely agree, but I will say what's also very interesting about Ryan Cohen is think about the companies that right now he's affiliated with. To your point, like how much does it matter? He co-founded Chewy and now GameStop. Mm-hmm. He had massive exposure to Bed Bath & Beyond, which is bankrupt. So, and Chewy, all these companies, it's not exactly like they're thriving. Is he the person that you really need as your leader?
Another gaslighting, you see? Like, you have to do that. They have to do that. It seems like it's a tick or something. It's like every time they hear about Ryan Cohen, oh my God, I have to say something terrible about him, or otherwise I'm not going to be able to keep my job in this network right here. I have to go by the flow, right? It's like, come on. It's so blatant and it's so comical at the same time. You know what I dare these people to do? Talk great about him. just for 1 minute and see what happened. You might not get a job in that industry anymore, or in that particular network, because the consensus in this type of network is that Ryan Cohen is a terrible CEO. Ryan Cohen is a terrible person for taking no pay, for turning company around. He never associated with anything great. It's not like this company is thriving. That's her opinion. And again, they do this intentionally because they don't want you to know the true story about the Bed Bath & Beyond. They're only interested in smearing him to say that that he had anything to do with the bankruptcy of Bed Bath & Beyond. Nothing further from the truth. He had nothing to do with the demise of Bed Bath & Beyond. It's all old leadership that is not willing to take Ryan Cohen advice. Okay, I have a video about it, so I'll link down below.
Yeah, all right, I'm with you there. Okay, shares up 3.5%. So good day for the downtrodden COVID, winners, with Peloton and GameStop at lows with a little bit of a bounce.
You see that? Like, they have to have a cadence to everything that they say in order to kind of hypnotize you into saying that GameStop is a terrible company. It's like, it's a hypnotic thing that they're doing. Don't investing in it because I'm going to lose a whole bunch of money. And then, my network's not going to be able to give me bonuses and all that stuff. Right? Allegedly. But yeah, and he's going to go on to say,
1767, at least for GameStop, we're hovering along the 52-week low and, not making fresh ones. But boy, this is also around the earnings from earlier this month, and it just doesn't seem like there's a lot of life in this stock. I don't really know what they're looking for next. Every time they have an earnings, it's about like their story and their narrative. It's not really about the numbers still. So he's going to have his work cut out for him for sure. I mean, he's got to actually tell us what the strategy is. So even if he used to be like associated with it and maybe making decisions behind the scene, now he's got to be held responsible to actually give us a plan, because I still don't know what their plan is, other than their experimentation with the collectibles and stuff that's like keeping them alive for the moment.
Okay, let's stop there before I go on to the other lady here. Now, let's address 2 points here. He's saying that it's dying company, right? And every time earning comes along, it's a grasping for breath. Well, the last earning, this is fourth quarter, which is the best quarter in GameStop history, right? If you look at the historical price, historical revenue, typically GameStop do the best in fourth quarter because, Christmas, Black Friday and all that stuff, right? It's in the fourth quarter. And they were profitable, massively profitable. But look at the trading, right? And these people know this. They have the ability to smack it down. Every time there's earning, smack it down, right? So that they could say stuff like this to you to give you the illusion that somehow earning is bad. But if you look at earnings, it beats expectation right there. 200% beating expectation. It's a surprise. 2%. They're selling more percentage of revenue in dollar amount, mind you. Of course, it's inflationary number here, but it's still good in dollar terms. All right. And so that they beat expectation. Look at the share price. Boom. And then immediately smack down. Nothing natural about this movement at all. Okay. And it always happened in the after hours. Look at this. Craziness, right? They knew that this is coming. Surprise. Price went up a little bit and then immediately smacked down. Why? And then immediately, it's, again, there's nothing natural about this price movement. So somebody has the ability to smack it down. The same way, this is like the best quarter ever. This is the quarter that they only lose $2 million in that 3 months time span. $2.8 million. Say $3 million. You know, on a $6 billion a year business, they will do fine. They will do fine. But anyway, it smacked right back down again. And then this is the announcement of Ryan Cohen being the CEO. Goes up 9% after hours and then dump immediately pre-market. So it's always happening behind the scene whenever this thing's happening. But we know what the news media is trying to do. They try to say that this guy is somehow incompetent, right? That the share price is somehow indicative of the performance of the company. If you know anything about the stock market, right? The price, it's just an agreement with two people who's willing to buy and sell at whatever price. You think if you go to GameStop right now and ask Ryan Cohen if he could buy, or the board for that matter, if they could buy GameStop at this price, they would sell it to you? Get out of here. The CEO, Ryan Cohen right now, bought at $22 a share at some point. $10 million worth of it. You think he's going to part with that $22? No, because he knows the value of this company is much, much more than anybody could imagine. Okay? And then, the other board of directors just add 25,000 shares worth of GameStop at $17. Just recently after the earnings. But anyway, so again, I dare these people to say good things about Ryan Cohen. And one other things that he was addressing, I forgot what he said. Let's go back a little bit further here. Oh, the guidance. So that has been their, itching point to know what the guidance of the company is. You know what? If he continued to deliver based on number, I don't care what he plans to do. Just show me good numbers. Then, do whatever you need to do. Consistently, he's been showing that. And yes, he's been in control of this company already, as if he was the CEO. He has nothing to do with the day-to-day. Now he can be. Now he can, cut what he needs to cut, do what he needs to do to make this company better, profitable, much more profitable, and hopefully, expand into the future. Right now, it's not the time to expand. Right now, it's time to stay alive, okay? Stay alive in this terrible economy that we call, great economy. Nobody has money to do anything. Inflation is up through the roof, up to the eyeball. Nobody has disposable income to do anything. And the student loan is about to hit people more. And August 1st is going to be the start of the student loan. It's not going away. And so to say that GameStop is doing worse than any other company, get out of here. You're wrong. You're wrong.
Other than their experimentation with the collectibles and stuff, that's like
Various plans to turn companies around. Last week, he was tweeting that he thought that the current management of GameStop was not being held accountable, and I do think he tends to be one that is received well, just given his transparency and his different turnaround, ways that he goes about companies. Again, turnaround wasn't that successful in Bed Bath & Beyond, but he was also a little bit late to that story. But
See that? Oh, Bed Bath & Beyond, look at, it's going bankrupt. Yeah.
Stock, all in all, is one of those stories where it doesn't actually look too bad on a year-to-date or a yearly chart. Then you zoom out, look at the last 3 years. We traded as high as 120 in peak meme excitement. I mean, I just think you have to take on the added risk with GameStop. There's 20% of their shares sold short. It's volatile. And so we see a 3%, 2.5% move higher today. Fundamentals have been improving, but I mean, just consider there's a total added risk when trading a name like GameStop.
True.
So she did say some good things there, huh? It's not too bad, right? It's not the end of the world, but it's risky. It's volatile. It's added risk. So don't buy into it. Yes, it's 2% up, but no, don't buy more. It's like, man, it's like, the minute you say good things, you have to add some other, negative new, terrible new. She has to do it because if she full on supported GameStop, she might not have the job at Schwab Network or whatever, right? So it's telling to me, again, nothing news here, but this company, if these people are betting against it so long ago and they still have the same mentality, they're gonna be in for a rude awakening. Because when you have this much hatred toward a stock, you better take a look at the actual balance sheet in order to seek some strength in that, and I am so secure in this company. I have no doubt that Ryan Cohen is going to be a great one, a great leadership in making this company profitable. And the big guys out there, they will chase money. They will chase GameStop. They will chase Ryan Cohen because he's not taking salary. It's like they got the best of both worlds. These people love money, and people who was sitting on the sideline all this time is gonna flock into GameStop when GameStop is profitable. Watch. So it's coming. It's coming. Just wait and enjoy the ride if you're in here. All right, guys, that's all I have. Might have, too long, but I'm sorry. I had to. Okay, bye.